Okay, guys and dolls, hold on tight, close your eyes, and open your minds as we cruise into curiosity. Here with your girl Phoenix.
I'm Yvette.
And we are here, as always, with our other halves to give us their points of view. Hey guys, what's
Hello.
good?
Thanks for having me. I am Saint. I will be joining in the conversation today.
What's up, y'all? This is Mike. I'm glad to be here. I hope we're gonna argue a lot. Gonna have fun.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thank you guys, as
Hey.
always.
We're your hostess giving you the we say, I say. Tell us, what do you say?
So today's topic is supposed to be, as Yvette was saying, world kindness. So we're doing kindness with a twist.
Born International today. World Kindness Day is an international holiday that was formed in 1998 to promote kindness throughout the world and observed annually on November 13th as part of the World Kindness Movement. It is observed in many countries, including the United States, Canada, Japan, Australia, and the UAE. World Kindness Day presents us with the opportunity to reflect upon one of the most important and unifying human principles on a day on a day devoted to the positive perception.
So basically, what my other half's trying to say.
The why he's laughing is because his alarm just started going off in the middle of him talking, and it's a song. I don't know if y'all could hear it.
Well, we can't even hear the song. That sucks. What song is playing?
Plastic bag.
Don't try to get on workout.
It's my alarm.
Oh, wow, yes. So World Kindness Day, again, like you said, is celebrated today. Basically, participants attempt to make the world a better place by celebrating and promoting good deeds and pledging acts of kindness, either as individuals or organizations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or it could be like about like planting plants, like trees and stuff, because
kindness to
the world, yeah, kindness to the environment,
helping the next generation breathe, have oxygen.
So wouldn't that falling into Earth Day? Like, are we giving Earth Day 2 days?
I mean, like, we can get
420, baby.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's still kindness, right? Like you're thinking about the next generation and years to come, and when you plant a tree, it's not. I mean, it could be just for you, but you're doing it for others, right? Like you're trying to help global warming or whatever. Like you're having an impact for everybody.
True. So yeah, I agree, definitely.
I haven't personally done no acts of kindness today since I don't step foot out the house, And that could be an act of kindness. Maybe somebody doesn't want to see my face, I could be doing them a favor. Like, kindness comes in different ways, so.
So, but on a real, what's your thought of kindness? Like, I say kindness with a twist because in today's world, is there a lot of kindness going on?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's arbitrary. Like it depends on that person, right? Like somebody could be offended by an act of kindness, right?
Right.
So it is hard to say, like, is this kind? It's kind of more of like your form of kindness, but might not come through that way to someone else.
Right. To someone else, it could come across as, pushy or, just like you're in my space, or where you're trying to just like help out or something.
Right. Or like, where we're from, like, what do you want in return now?
Exactly.
Like, what are you trying to get? You must want.
You would think that kindness would spread too. Like one person's being kind, and other people be kind back, and that should carry on to other people.
Like a pay it
Because
forward
now
type
you got
of
that
thing.
vibe. Exactly. And you got that vibe of kindness, which should rub off on other people, and they be kind to other people, and it should multiply. But I don't know.
Yeah, and today you don't see that. You don't see that at all. And it's not even from, like, I guess the older generation who's, been here or, you figure they would be teaching that, but they're not. Like, they're just honestly probably one of the rudest people out there ever. Besides the younger generation of now. It's like, where's the cutoff? Like, how do you know?
Yeah, it's hard to read people. I feel like we don't really have a social norm anymore, like.
That's another thing. You think people got anxiety when someone's kind to them, they're like, okay, what do you want? Why are you so nice?
Mm-hmm. Or they don't want to be bothered too, or be put on the spot. What if you do something kind and like give someone, and they could be offended, like, oh, you think I'm poor? Like, you think I can handle and take care of myself?
Exactly. Facts. What do you think of it?
She's not here at the moment.
Roll call.
But I mean,
But no, I definitely get what you're saying, because it's that pay it forward type of scenario where if you're at a store and someone's in line behind you, like at the drive-through, and you pick up their tab,
no. You
you,
see,
you would think like they can pay it forward and be kind to the person behind them, but that doesn't happen either. They're just like, the hell with that, I'm
Now, is
keeping my
that
loot.
kindness or a good deed?
yeah.
Kindness or a good
I
deed?
mean, you shouldn't be
But
What's the
isn't it?
pressured though.
difference?
Like being pressured into, like, what if it gets to you and that person behind you ordered a corporate meal or something, like, and you don't have money, like, oh well, like, you got to take care of your family still, like, and that's not uh that was that initial person's way of kindness. It shouldn't like force the
Right.
rest.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I
Like,
can see that. I can see that.
and yeah, like I don't like that, just because like it does like push people that can't contribute, and then now that person feels bad because they can't be kind, right? Like,
They feel more obligated in
right,
saying.
yeah, and
Okay.
I mean, like they might not have it like that, so yeah, like you can't be kind, and now you got to walk around like, damn, I wasn't able to contribute to this kindness, and now people.
So then it makes you feel like what? Vulnerable in a sense that
Yeah.
like you're not doing your part.
Right, like you're a piece of shit. But like, and it's more like for me personally, it's more that's my thoughts, right? Like how other people view me. But I know like the reason I did it is because I can't be, I don't have the money right now to do that. So, but no one else would
Right.
know that. And a lot of people, I would say are judgy, like, damn, why wouldn't he do that? Like, because, he has his own reasons, won't you ask him? Or and then, obviously that could be another whole rabbit hole where, you make someone
Asking somebody why you're not kind.
right. I mean, but like you have to be understanding and not and be kind, right? And not judge them and be like, okay, well, let's start this whole thing, order thing. Like I'd be scared to do that. That you're like in the lottery system when you're doing that whole ordering. Like I'll pay for the person behind me. Like I don't know what the hell they ordering. I'm trying to get a McChicken and a small fry. Shit. And now I come and I got to spend $60.
True, true. I definitely understand what you're saying.
I'm not
But okay, so in a different scenario where you're just, I don't know, any type of way. So growing up in New York, all right, you guys know, like either we're on the train system or the buses, whatever, giving some old lady your seat. It doesn't have to be an old lady, but getting up for somebody else to sit down or something like that. That was expected of you then. Now it's like you better get out of my face. Like, look, I work hard too. My legs hurt too. Like,
right. Yeah, I mean,
so as a gentleman, do you feel like you're at that same level of, is that a form of kindness or chivalry or whatever you want to say? Like, are you putting that energy out to the world where you're like, no, we're equal. That doesn't matter anymore. Like those days are long gone.
yeah, I'm kind of, I don't know, like, part of me is kind of has that chivalry, and I think it might come out from time to time. But, with a lot in the world going on equality and this and that, like, yeah, I mean, like, shit, if we're equal, you could stay in. Like, why am I gonna give up my seat? I probably don't need to be sitting anyways, but like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then what if it is like a woman or something that like is all feminist, and it's like, oh, what you think I can't stand or something, like, like and then you run into that problem too. You're just better off not even doing anything.
Trying to be kind.
Right.
Right. Okay. Right. So, and that's what I mean. Like society today, when this kindness awareness was formed, you know what I mean? We were in a better place. It was just, a couple years after 9/11. So people were more loving. People were more, and that's a whole different topic for me because we didn't even celebrate 9/11 anymore. Like, I'm just still appalled by that. But people were more loving, and you know what I mean? Like, now it's like, get the hell away from me. Like, we're back to where we were. And I think we're worse
Mhm.
than we were.
Yeah.
You know what I
I'm
mean?
gonna blame I'm gonna blame technology, but we can talk about that another time.
Yeah.
Yes, that's gonna definitely be something interesting because like, is
hmm
that causing us not to be kind? I mean, can we actually blame technology or can we blame us as people?
I mean, we don't really need each other, right? So if there's like a lack of need for your neighbor, then now today is the day to be kind, which is dumb anyways. Any holiday is dumb. Thanksgiving, being grateful, like, come on, you should be grateful all the time. Why today is the only day we should be grateful?
I mean, do you
Right, I
remember?
agree.
Y'all remember when Saint would get mad and whenever y'all would call him on his birthday?
Yeah, definitely. Because it was
When he
more
get
so
mad, we call
if
him on
we
his
don't
birthday.
talk always, he did because he would be like, "Well, my birthday shouldn't be the only time you get to call and like chill with me or like tell me you love me or come wish me greetings. It should be anytime."
Right.
Yeah.
That's how he
And that was
felt. Like
his
I guess I
view.
don't know. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's like a forceful thing, like, right? Even for me to have to like reach out, like, and I don't want
It's not a forceful thing, it's recognition. I realize what date it is. I'm thinking about you and I'm letting you know. I didn't forget about you. I know what today is.
Right. That's like how you and I look at
to.
things.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like how you view it is the same way I view it, basically. But Saint would always get upset about like any holiday, like even not even just his birthday, just like Valentine's Day.
Well, no, I wouldn't get it. I'm not upset. It's more annoying. Like, I don't hear from you, and now I gotta,
I can imagine him waking up and say, "Shit, it's Valentine's."
Yeah.
like, and
You
I'm
again.
I get accustomed to whatever, like if someone's gonna bother me, then fine, I'll get accustomed. But like to,
It
have to
shouldn't be
like
a
pull
bother.
out like
No, and like around Christmas time, it would be like that. Like he did not make it fun. So now, like I used to love Christmas. I used to love like every single holiday I celebrated. You know what I mean? And I like to dress up or whatever. But
I've always hated Christmas. It's very expensive. I'm tired of hearing the same songs over and over again.
he was a bah humbug too,
No
and
way.
ended
I
up
know what you
like
mean by loving the
and ended
holidays.
up and souring it for me. Like now, like I'm not as gung-ho about it or whatever. I'm trying to get back to my old self again, like thinking like how I used to be and like what made me happy and all that stuff, because it's hard to get there sometimes whenever you're feeling a certain way. But I told him, I said, I want to decorate now for Christmas. He said for before Thanksgiving. I was like, yeah. But then
Yeah,
I was like, well, I just
the
want to
day
put the
after
tree at
Halloween.
least. Yeah. Then I was like,
I don't know.
let's just put up the tree, but not put up the lights. And then I was like, why don't we decorate for Thanksgiving? We really never decorate for Thanksgiving. So then he was like, well, why don't you look up? Because he was like, I always do everything. And I was like, okay. He's like, why don't you do something? Why don't you look it up instead of just I don't know what I was doing. It's probably sleeping or laying down. I don't know. He's like, why don't you do something? Look it up. I'm like, okay, I'll look it up. So I was looking up stuff on Instagram, but he started looking up stuff too and found a Thanksgiving tree. So basically, like you decorate the tree with all Thanksgiving ornament type stuff or
or
whatever,
fall.
or fall decor.
That's nice. That sounds good.
So
So
that's what we
him
did.
doing that
And
is considered a way of kindness. You know, even though he didn't really want to do it, he was
right?
still putting himself out there to be kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't see that.
Yeah.
What colors would you even use for a Thanksgiving tree?
It's the
Orange,
same like
reds.
green tree, but we
Yes, yeah, I feel
yeah.
like
Uh-huh.
Thanksgiving and Halloween are the same kind of colors. The oranges, the reds, where you can still use that freaking scarecrows up there. You can still use the hay. You can still use the pumpkins.
Yeah,
I feel
pumpkins.
like
Right.
Yep.
you can just
We
leave your
if we
Halloween stuff up.
Yeah, we
Unless it's
have
like
like
ghost and
the
shit. Take
orange.
that down.
Yeah, we have
yeah,
like a
yeah.
orange glow behind the tree from like some LED lights. Give it that
Yeah.
orange feel. But
Definitely. Definitely
yeah,
the scarecrows and like all that stuff is still a part of Thanksgiving. Throwing your corn, you know what I mean? Your hay. Leave that stuff up. Do that. You still
If
can
we
use the
had
same
like an
colors, the red
Instagram
lights and the
or
orange
whatever,
lights.
if
See,
we had
that's
like
nice.
an Instagram or something, I would like post up the Thanksgiving tree
Well, we definitely will.
on
So,
there.
you guys can tune into our Cruise into Curiosity on Instagram.
yeah, I feel back to the kindness. It's very
Yes.
open to interpretation.
And see, that's the thing anymore. I think anymore, just the world is so blah. And it could be technology, but I think it's people. I think it's us. I think it's us as, a unity. We're just not in sync at
We
all.
we've never been. We have never been as human beings. Ever since there's a category or a group or a tribe, whatever, a race, like it's always separation. Religion, being a part of something and someone else isn't, having beliefs and someone doesn't. Like we're not understanding that there's other people with other thoughts and accepting of that, and that's okay.
And see, that goes back to more of what I said, like as far as during 9/11, everybody was thinking on the same accord for those first couple of years. 2013 rolled around,
Yeah,
everything else. And then it just started to slowly drift and drift. And, Yvette and I were discussing the other day how 9/11 wasn't even acknowledged. Like there was no more, even in
yeah.
school. You know what I mean? That's a part
Mm-hmm.
of something. We should still be kind to our neighbor, even especially on that day, let alone this day or any other day given out there. Because your act of kindness could
Yeah.
be all that somebody needs. You don't know what's going on in their life. You don't know if your smile or your hi can, change everything
Mm-hmm.
about for them. Sintaj was
Yeah.
outside the other day getting into the car, and a lady and her husband drove by, and she was stopped at the light there, and she looked at him and she said, "I love you." So he's not paying attention. He's thinking like she's talking to the husband, but like, why is she looking in my face? And he looked around and she said, "No, I love you." And he said, "Oh, thank you, I love you too." But you know what I mean? Like he came in and he was just like, wow, like I was in crazy thought right then, and just random lady just told me she loves me. And I was like, how'd that make you feel? He was like, put a little smile on my face. It was a random act of just,
Yeah.
she could have come out of church or something, or it just made her feel good to say. I don't know, it could have been a spiritual incline. But you know what I mean? It made his little day.
Yeah, that makes me paranoid. Like I'm concerned, like why, like who are you? Like I don't know.
But she
Like
was an older
it's
lady. Like I said, she just came out of the church, and you want to come out, and you probably, I'm just thinking she was just like, I love you, pass it along. But
I,
it made him smile, and he was in a
yeah.
deep thought. It made him smile.
I'll be running across a bunch of thoughts. Like is she starting to stalk me? Is this an obsession? Like what does this love mean? Like you gonna try to kidnap me? Am I gonna be a new toy? Like I,
I don't know. I think he can take
Toy.
it. I
like
think he can take
you know,
it. I
I'm
definitely think he
like,
can
I,
take
I,
it.
I mean, if that happened to me, I don't know, I might feel uncomfortable. Yeah. I don't know if I would look at it like, oh, she's such a sweet lady. Like, I
yeah,
don't know. It would have been like, okay.
yeah. It's kind of an odd thing.
I mean, even whenever I was like younger in relationships, like if like a boy, whatever, was like saying the L word, I'd be like, thank you. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's not very it's not something that when someone says it, it's more of like you're taken back. Like, why are you saying that?
Yeah, I would have been
Really?
pretending to like walk to another Another house.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I feel like I would feel
Even in
uncomfortable for sure.
relationships, I love you took you back.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was never. It had to be a long time, and I never really. None of those lasted. So
I don't know. I think I love love. I definitely just love love.
Yeah, I like it too, you know, and I wish it was like that, but you know, I know the world we live in, and you know, there are you know people with mental issues, and you know, out to get something as well. So like, I have to consider those in before I automatically assume like, yeah, they're sending love with their best intention, you know.
Right.
But I'm also
Okay.
like a little paranoid.
Okay. I can see that.
Too many
I mean,
crazies out there.
well, I don't think she had any ill intention, but that just again goes on our kindness anymore. Like you were saying in the beginning, when people are showing acts of kindness, people are
Right.
paranoid with it or they're thinking other ways with it. So they don't know how to take kindness anymore. And
Hmm.
that can go as to why people in the world aren't kind anymore. It's like, what's the use? Well, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
What do you
Yep.
think, Mike?
Like I said in the beginning, I feel like it could pass on from one person to another, but it also depends on a person, the vibe, rubbing off on other people. But then you could put a whole room in a good mood if you're using kindness.
Yeah. Yeah, I like being kind, and I like pretty much treating people the way I want to be treated, type of thing, you know. And if I
Hmm.
see someone needs help, and you know, I'm willing, you know, to do that at the moment, like I don't mind, you know. And I think that has to
But like you
be
said earlier, it shouldn't be something that's like a day or for a week, you know?
right,
It should
right.
be something that's like all the time. It should be a habit. It should be a way of life.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But you know, there is a lot of hesitation now, just because you know I don't know what the reaction or you know their viewpoint or acceptance is going to be, you know, and I know you know some people would say just be you, but you know I don't like confrontation or starting shit either. So and especially when I'm trying to do something good like that's the
Right.
worst feeling, you know, trying to help like an old lady and she thinks she's robbing you. Like, come on, chill out, relax. Calling police.
Hmm.
Help! Help me! She needs help.
What, why the old lady calling the police?
oh,
Like, chill, you know? Like, I don't know.
Like,
I feel like that depends where you're from too. Like in New York, it's definitely suspect when someone's being nice to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's always like some
and
dark motive behind some kind of gesture. If you go like down south or something, like almost everyone is like really kind and you kind of get used to it. So it really depends where you're from too.
yeah.
Yeah.
and that's what I mean. Go ahead, Yvette. What were you saying?
Well, I was gonna say like before I met like Steve or whatever, I was like that. I was like that. You know what I mean? Like I was very trusting and kind and like I would do anything and everything for anybody if I could. And then when I met Steve, he changed all that for me.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I mean, I guess for the other person it's a bad thing, but for him it's a good thing cuz now he don't have to be a part of anything that I volunteer for or whatever. But I mean
What? No, she's tripping. I don't mind volunteering, you know? Like, it obviously has to be a two-way street, though. Like, I need to enjoy what I'm doing as well, you know? Like, I don't mind helping out and investing my time and doing, like, you know, an act of kindness, like, you know, and I kind of have to feel like there's a benefit, you know? Like I'm not gonna do shit and there's no like I'm not helping anyone. Kind of like contributing to like, you know, one of these charitable contributions. I don't know where the money's going to. I don't know how much, you know, the founder is holding in his pocket. You know, like all that logistical stuff. Like if I wanna help somebody, I'd rather like see somebody help, you know? But then, like on the flip side, especially with money, like I'm not a big proponent to you know like giving people money. Like how is that help? You know, like it is that helping the current moment issue, or is it helping them get back on their feet to what they really need? You know, I don't know. I rather like help with somebody like through physical labor or making their life easier or having a conversation, like talking with people. I love talking to people, or I used to more so than now, but like I like seeing other people's perspective, getting new ideas, and seeing why people are the way they are, and so forth. But I don't know. I'm more hesitant though, like on doing certain things. I don't know who is trying to get over whatever. Sure. You can start a church and just to make money, right? Like getting all those Sunday donations or whatever. Where's that money going to?
Hence why
Yeah.
I've changed the way my thinking process is, because I have a significant other that thinks a certain way and kind of like makes me see like on the other side, the other perspective, right? Like I didn't think that way. I was thinking give, give, give. I'm doing something right. Like I don't care. It makes me feel good.
Right.
So, but I he tells me from his perspective on certain things. And I'm not saying like he changes my mind on every single thing that I do, because like I said, I'm starting to get back to my old self, the self that I loved, the things that I love to do. You know what I mean? And volunteering was one of them, and I'm doing that now. So like I'm volunteering at the girls' school 2 times a week. So, and that's something that I like doing.
Yeah, and I see that like, that could be a selfish act too. You're trying to do something to make someone feel good, right? Like and I'm the same way. I don't like to just give. I need to see the benefit out of it, right? Like I need to see somebody happy and feel like I'm helping in the first place. And that's how like I feel good. I can't just like give money and feel good. Like that's not my connection, because I don't see that happiness or the help or the long term benefit or impact that I have made.
Yeah.
So do you guys think how's it working for you with this kindness act to be thinking the same? So if you're both thinking now that being kind is not worth it, or you know what I'm saying, I understand Yvette is getting back to who she is, you know what I mean, coming out of her shell again. But if you're always thinking the exact same, how's that run? Like how is there a devil's advocate
I'll be
if you're both the devil?
I'll be devil's advocate. Like and she still has it. She brings it up, and then like I just question things. Like I'm curious, and like regardless, like I like to know the facts anyways. So I need to know the logistic details, behind what's going on. And like even by me, I might not say something directly, but I'm asking the question so she can think about it, right? Like
Yeah, it's like something that, well, she probably didn't think of this yet. You know what I mean? And then so
Right.
he,
Okay.
that's how he like puts his questions to me, or presents his questions to me, I should say.
a
Right. Okay.
thought process. 'Cause she's
So you're still playing both sides just from a different view.
Right. Because I'm very impulsive with
mm-hmm.
things. I go with my emotion first, and then logic comes later, and then I'm like, fuck, why did I do that? Or why did I say that? Or, like whatever. It's something stupid, something minute. But then, there's other things that have happened that is like not that minute, but not that huge either. But it's just things
Right.
that I probably should have thought about before doing. You know what I mean? And it's like, damn, there I go, just thinking with my emotion and not thinking about the aftermath, I guess, or whatever.
Right.
Now you see that's Michael. Like depending on the situation, he's high strung. His emotions, boom, no, I'm just gonna, and when he's that way, he's more aggressive and he's just like, no, I'm gonna solve this now. Especially, you know what I mean? Like he's
Well,
Michael, and you can
Yeah.
agree, he's very emotional.
Nobody got time to be dragging shit out. Handle it right
Like
now.
I
he's
mean, I
yeah,
think,
like
The other things to do.
where as me, I'm like, no, like I'm writing this down. I need to. No, there's other things to think about in this case. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to think about this part, okay, I'm hearing you, but at the same time, did you think about this part? No, he's in the moment,
Right.
like that action in the moment. Forget what could come later or this or that. And I'm not impulsive like that. I need to. He says I take too much time, but no, I need to look at the whole picture. Like I want the whole picture. I want the paint to dry. I want to see this step and 30 steps ahead of it. But that's, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's just
Yeah.
like, no, in this moment, in this right now, this is all I care about right this second. Well, this second is past in another second. I need to know about what I'm gonna do 10 seconds from now.
Yeah, I
And
think what helps us is that I'm kind of more open to his suggestions, to his devil advocacy, so you will, or whatever, like I'm more open to it. And that's why, because I know that flaw in me. You know what I mean? Like I know I'm an impulsive person, and I know that. I mean, I lived 28 years without him, right? Living on my own, being single, and fucking up a lot. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So I kind of like whenever he came into my life, and initially I didn't want to listen to him. You know what I mean? Like I was so used to just being myself. I was 28, like I said, been 28 years that I didn't have to like
And I was 21.
that I didn't have to like always like go to question or to have to say something or to, like I mean every little thing that you don't think about when you're single and you automatically go into a marriage. It's not like we were dating. You know what I mean? Like we knew each other a month, literally, and then got married. So we were just boom, right with each other 24/7, not 24/7, because he was still in the military and I was still in the military. But, it's just a different dynamic overnight.
right,
But I had to learn over time. And that's why we went through that rocky spell, also like, and then postpartum depression, it's just a lot. And so going through what we had to go through, going through what I had to go through to kind of see and be open-minded, because like like Steve basically gave me an ultimatum. He was like, you need to get help and you have a year, and if you don't have your shit together, basically, within that year, then I will give you that divorce. And so
right.
that kind of was just like, okay,
A wake up call.
yeah, yeah. And it's like, okay, I got to do something. And what I'm doing right now definitely ain't working, obviously. You know what I mean?
Right. So do you think that was his act of kindness to like save the love that is there and what it can grow into?
Oh, yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
for sure. I tell him all the time, like, or I try to let him know how thankful I am for him, because, not a lot of men are going to put up with the bullshit that they had to, that you have to put up with certain people. You know what I mean? Like certain people can push your button to a certain limit. And then after that, it's like, you can only take so much.
Right. I understand. I'm married to his brother.
I mean, and we push each other's buttons a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he just handles it so much. Like he handles it a lot better than I do. Like I'm like a 5-year-old dating a 38-year-old. You know what I mean? Like that.
So you're like Mike.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm growing.
He's a
I
he's a
feel like
firecracker. He is a firecracker.
I,
Y'all explode.
I feel like now I'm leveling up. I'm getting into like the preteens. Like I'm mature now. So
Well, they say men mature, less what is it, later than girls anyway, but I think I don't know. Saint, you probably got that mixed gene there. I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
But because, and I love Mike to death, but he's still he's catching up. He's getting there. Slowly but surely he's getting there.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
I'm just
go ahead.
different because what people
Hurry up.
consider disability, I don't, like, but having like ADHD and anxiety and thinking all the time, like I'm thoughtful, like in anything I do, like if I'm helping someone or if I'm trying to have an act of kindness, I'm even thoughtful about it. Kind of like
Right.
giving a kid candy, right? You want to see them smile, but like, is it kindness long term? Like, they're gonna have diabetes? You keep doing that, rotten teeth, so forth. Like, or just mentally, like, how are you rewarding them? Like, we love food, so like celebrations always food, like that. But that's kind of bad, to like emotionally eat, and that's how issues come about later on in life. So like, I mean, I don't know, like, I'm thoughtful in the act of kindness, and even saying no or doing that, like, to somebody, like, I think it's kind too. Like, you're not helping their problem going on. Like, if someone needed money and you said no, like, then they're gonna be forced to like get their shit together type of thing, right? Like, that's an act of kindness to me, like, I don't
Right.
think it's always as blatant as like, oh, he didn't do that, but like, why didn't he do that? Like, I'm like pretty understanding, and I've learned to be that way so I don't get emotional, right? Like, get upset. Like, I don't know what their reason is, and that's fine. I don't need to know, but there are possibilities that I could think of to like help myself not get emotional, like, they can't do it, or like, they can't help me move type of thing. They might have a bad back or whatever it is. It's not for me to say. It's just that they said no and I accept that type of thing. Kindness is a weird thing. You don't know why someone can't be kind
Right.
to you the
Okay.
way you want them to be kind anyways. Or they could be kind at the moment by saying no or whatever. The way
Switching to
if I want to be treated a certain way, that's how mainly. I mean, like, that's its own thing. Like, someone else might view
Hmm.
differently as well. Like, they might not feel that's kind or whatever. But like, I'm trying to think and do what I feel like is best long term or whatnot. Not emotionally. Like, yeah, I want to make them happy. Like, no, I want to help. Like, that's more kindness than just like making someone happy. Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of where I'm at on that. Like, I mean, what do you think? Like, just because you say no or refuse to do something, like, does that mean it's not kind?
No, giving somebody what they want all the time does not mean that you are kind or not kind. You could say no in a kind way.
Yeah, and it still could be an act of kindness. You know,
Yeah.
kind of
because you're
like,
helping them help themselves.
right,
Because,
like a
well,
drug addict or
that
something.
and because you're just
Hmm.
communicating, period. You know what I mean? Like, communication is everything.
Yeah, I like to communicate. I'm big on that. Let me know what you think or whatever. Let's discuss this. Like, if you're just being
Yep.
emotional. Like, if Mike was a crackhead, asking me for money,
What?
I'd be like, no, like, like, no, I'm not enabling you to continue. But and then this is a belief. I think it's more of a fact, but it's not good for you. It's not helping you, and just because I give you this once this time, there's gonna be plenty more. Like, you're obviously not funding your own crack, and I'm not getting enjoyment out of this either. So like, I'm gonna do you the act of kindness and tell you no. So you're gonna have to either figure it out on your own or stop, right?
Yep. You gotta say what you gotta say, even if it hurts.
Yeah.
Sometimes not doing is kind.
So, what is your lessons that you would teach your kids as far as kindness?
I mean, for me, it's like, treat people the way you want to be treated type of thing.
Yeah, the golden rule.
Like, I'm not overly kind to the girls. I don't treat them like girls in the first place. Like, I think that's one of the issues with having girls is, we want to. Like, we want to pick up stuff for them and lift things. Like, hell no. Like, you're a human being. You have a skeletal muscle system and you can grow strength as well and be strong. and someone's not always going to open doors for you or anything like that, you know? And I feel like that's kind, like giving them strength to take care of themselves, not need, others, be able to fend for themselves. I still like love and show that, but like treating other people, if you see someone needs help, like, some old lady's dropping something, like, oh yeah, what is that gonna cost you anyways? Like, just go help. Like, it's not a big deal anyways. And
I think that still makes you a bad person trying to expect something in return when you do something nice for
right,
someone.
exactly.
That doesn't make you a good
No,
person still,
hell no.
even doing the good deed.
But I mean, like, I do need to see the benefit, and that's not necessarily expecting.
See, pause. I need to see the benefit.
Right, like, so a lady drops her groceries. I don't need her to give me money after. But I
What?
know the benefit of her not having, she's having a hard time reaching down. Like, I know I helped. That was the benefit. But I'm not getting anything out of it. Not
Mm-hmm.
monetarily. I don't even care if it's a thank you. I know I did what I needed
Right.
to help her,
So back to teaching the girls that, not to look for, again, the chivalrous in their, even when they grow up having relationships and so forth, that kindness. Is it showing them not to expect kindness? Or is it blocking their appreciation for kindness? Is it making them paranoid against kindness?
By how?
Well, like you were just saying, you said that, you're teaching them to be independent and do things themselves, which I applaud. I agree 100%. But at the same time, is there a way that we're blocking, or you're blocking them from knowing how to receive kindness? You know what I mean? Again, because we grew up in an area where, if someone's coming over to pick something up, right away we're thinking, now they're gonna try and steal it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So is that mentality being pushed without knowing we're pushing it?
I don't think so. It could be, right? It definitely could be. And it's depending on how they're taking it.
Perceiving it.
Right, exactly. And I mean, I can't speak for that because, that's their thoughts and their viewpoints. I mean, you could do something and, five people could view it differently. So, I mean, that's definitely not what I'm trying to get across. I mean, I know through my own actions, they might take that, like, I don't really like help. I like to feel like
Independent.
independent, accomplished, and a lot of people just get in my way and slow me down in the first place. So I rather, you just go sit on the sideline and
Exactly.
watch. But
Exactly. If you can't hold your own with what I'm doing, just don't hinder me.
yeah,
I'm not trying to be nasty. I'm not trying to be a bitch. Just don't hinder me. Let me get it done.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, like,
But and see, that's what I say those things to Mike. It's not that I don't want help. When I need help, I definitely will ask for it.
uh-huh.
All the time.
Yes, when I need help. I'm not talking about being any other way, Michael. I'm just saying, for the most part, I'm more so just move. I'll do it. I'll do it. If I need you, I'll ask you. If it's something I can't reach, don't go on that stuff, because I use ladders now.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but I mean, like, when they try to help, I definitely say thank you and so forth, and like show that gratitude. But especially the girls, like, they be slowing me down. So like, I'm like, I got it, or no, I don't need help or whatever. They ask for help, like, if something I feel like they need help, I'll help for sure. But if it's something I know they don't want to do just because they want to be lazy, or they want to, for me to do it, like, you know, and there is this like hidden underlying sexism that I do have, like, being in the military, like, we would have girls and, like, guys want to be chivalry, or trying to get something, right? Like, they would take over and try to help and doing their job, and I'm like, no, hell no, like, you got the wrong one. Like, we getting paid the same, or you either pay me your paycheck, but I'm not doing your job for you. Like if it's someone that's putting in work and I see they need help, like then yeah, now we're a team, right? Like that's different. But I'm not gonna be doing your job for you. That's not a team. Like I'm helping you, but you don't help me type of thing, like no. And I don't want the girls to be like that, either. Like, I want them to be able, to handle their own, at least try their best if they're
To hold their own.
physically limited by strength or whatever it is at that moment. Like, but did you try your best? Do you actually need help? Or, you're just trying to, like, get me to do it type of thing? And
Which one people try to do.
I see what they be trying to do sometimes, and I'm like, nah, I seen you do it before. But yeah,
Asking for help, then they disappear.
right, yeah, I'll help you. And I'm like, I'll be helping them with their school projects. They know I like doing the art stuff, and then and then they over there playing and you giggling, and I'm like, who's helping who? This isn't
Yeah.
my project. And that's like goes with work ethic and everything else. It's definitely a complicated matter. But yeah, I mean,
Now, you see, with something like that, like I know just as much about technology as Michael. And that was one of the things like we always vibed on and like loved about each other. But there's times where I'm just like, you know what? Not that I can't do it, is that like I can't do it. I may be physically or mentally brain fogged, and I'm just like, I just can't get through this. I need you to do this for me. Whereas, he'll be like, no, you know just as much as I know. But if I'm asking, it takes a lot for me to ask anything. So, because, well, we know why. We all four know exactly why lately it's harder for me to do things.
yeah,
So you know what I'm saying? Someone else would be like, I understand what you're going through. Yeah, let me help. Not him. Like, hell no, do it yourself. Oh, well.
yeah,
Is dinner done? So,
No, please, no.
right,
but you know what I mean? Like, lately, yes, I'll ask for certain things that I would have never asked him to help me with before. And so I don't know if he feels he's being kind, but I don't see any kind anywhere.
yeah,
Like in that retrospect, I'm just like, like I feel it's a neglect. I feel it's like like more evil than kind.
yeah,
So what's the line that we draw there? You know what I mean? Like, even if we know that person has done it before and that they can do it, how do we say like, okay, this is the time they actually need the help? That's why they're asking. Is this the time we actually show that extra kindness?
right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that's obviously situational, and depending on the person, the environment, what's going on, like you're saying, personally and so forth. So like it's definitely like hard, right? And I feel like for me, like I'm that chivalry type of dude, not with like doors, but more bigger picture, like trying to help ease her day and
Trying to
her
have
life.
a more open mind.
Right. Like it's not, the small things. Fuck the small things. You could get your own goddamn door, but like how are you feeling? Like are you happy overall, looking after mentally and just like the process of her doing things, creating
Right.
coming up.
I can appreciate that. That's very important, and I think that's huge
Hmm.
in any friendship, relationship, marriage. I think that's huge. Knowing like you're okay, I'm okay if you're okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think I wear that role. I wear that hat. Whereas I want to make sure everybody's happy, even if I'm not happy. I can look that part. I can pretend that part. I will get through that.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I mean, I usually get happy when everyone else is happy. But I gotta like you said, I have to, like I'm I've learned not to expect, anyone
Mm-hmm.
to be happy, like just because I'm trying to make them happy anyways, like I know I'm doing it and trying to make someone's their lives easier or even make them
Right.
happy, but I know deep down that I can't expect them to, I can't control their emotions, like they're going to
Right.
be unhappy regardless, then they're going to be unhappy. And we're obviously trying to teach gratitude and being grateful for everything just because, like that's what happiness is, like appreciation for everything around you, what
Right.
you have, the hand that you have right now. Imagine you lost your hand tomorrow, like you would have been grateful, before
For the
having it.
arthritis pain in it.
Right. But no, you just like normally like overlook it because it's just there. But like, I think about like not being sick, right? Like having a cold, like thinking about when I had like strep throat and I'm like, you know, when I'm sick, it's like, damn, like you just overlook not being sick every day. And like
Right.
how good it feels to not feel something bad. But when it does happen, it's like, oh man, wish to be normal, right? Like, and it's like crazy, like down that small scale, you should be able to appreciate, like I don't have a headache today, like I feel in good health, and that's what that means. Like I have no pains, or even if you do have pains, like these are manageable pains. I'm grateful for that, and not to be in the hospital. Like you can always think of your worst situation. You have experience and be grateful you're not there.
Mm-hmm.
I used to think that was like difficult,
Right.
like people say be think of things to be grateful for. I'm like, well, sure. Saying, yeah, I'm grateful to be alive. Like, I don't know. Just saying it versus like, you've never been dead, right? So like, it's harder to be grateful for that or whatever. Or if you've never like experienced it with someone personally, right? Like losing somebody, or grateful I have all my ligaments. Like I've never dealt with somebody that had a leg missing, an arm, a hand. Like how much more difficult would it be for life?
And that's just more a part of it. Like you said, like being grateful is kindness to yourself. I think because time waits for nobody.
Yeah. Yep.
And there are people who have a time limit and they want to do everything they can with everybody they can for everybody they can. I don't think that person's being selfish. I think, they're just trying to make the best of whatever time is available and give whatever kindness and blessings out to the world that they can and secure, life itself. Even, I don't know, like, I think there's so many ways to view that,
Yeah.
you know?
Tune in next time to discuss gratitude further on next week's Thanksgiving special.